Greetings, my friends. Please consider supporting me in my war to save pop culture by subscribing to my channel and possibly even becoming a channel member for exclusive videos, access to Doomcock emojis, and more. And if you like this video in particular, please consider using the new Super Thanks feature and putting a tip in the tip jar located next to the like buttons down at the bottom of the video. Thank you for watching, and now, on to the video. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and I come to you today seething with disgust and fury, and once again sounding the alarm about the Walt Disney Company and their determination to ruin childhoods, destroy our culture, and ultimately obliterate their own legacy, one shoddy remake at a time. As I stand before you today, Disney's horrific live-action remake of Pinocchio has quietly been released on Disney+, a remake so wretched, even the professional shill critics can't pretend it doesn't suck harder than Linda Lovelace's Dirt Devil. Snow White is in production on a live-action remake of Snow White, starring a woman of color who is anything but, and Disney has released a terrible teaser trailer of a live-action remake of one of my favorite movies of all time, The Little Mermaid. This teaser is so hated, it is suffering the death of 1 million cuts on YouTube, ratioed all to hell, with 1.3 million downvotes according to this screenshot that was tweeted out yesterday. I'm told that since that shot was taken, the downvotes were up to nearly 2 million. Although I am also told that they're purging some of those dislikes, and it's dropped down now to 1.7 million dislikes, but you get the idea. Pinocchio is a complete and total failure with critics and fans alike. Clearly, The Little Mermaid is well on its way to an even more spectacular failure when even a teaser trailer for this cultural vandalism is being ratioed to death. And when people get served up a Snow White who isn't, the response is going to be a global upchuck of astonishing revulsion. I want to take a moment to explain exactly why these live-action remakes of classic animated films make me so damn angry I can hardly see straight, and why exactly I view these soulless remakes as a non-sexual form of outright child abuse. Time and time again over the history of my channel, I have sounded the alarm about remakes in general and about The Little Mermaid in particular. You see, I happen to think that The Little Mermaid is one of the most perfect movies Walt Disney ever made, along with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Pinocchio as well. To call these movies timeless classics is a woeful understatement, because these movies aren't merely classics, they're magic. They delight children and make the elderly feel young again. Beautiful movies like these nourish the spirits of young and old alike and bring families together. Movies like these are not simply fun diversions, they resonate with you the rest of your life. I don't think there's been a time in the last 20 years that I've watched Snow White and not been moved to tears by how breathtakingly beautiful it is, like a painting come to life. The songs, the fluid animation, the characters, the timeless feel of it is a glimpse of perfection. And when I see perfection, I cannot help but be deeply moved. And in such dark and cynical times, anything that can move you, that can remind you there's still beauty and magic and joy to be found in the world, sustains your soul and feeds your spirit. The soaring achievements of our culture are the stuff that dreams are made of, and more than bread and water, man must have inspiration to truly be alive. Is it enough for a society to simply survive? The whole point of civilization is not merely to survive, but to ascend to greater heights of philosophy, religion, art, and science, to push the boundaries of the possible. But to do that, civilizations must be inspired by its artists and philosophers to imagine more, to dream bigger. Movies like Pinocchio, The Little Mermaid, and Snow White are masterworks that embody innocence, excellence, and wonder. So given that, why do I loathe and despise these live-action remakes? And more importantly, why do I say that Disney is abusing kids with these live-action remakes? Let's take the Little Mermaid teaser trailer. This thing is hideous and cheap. It's murky. It's politicized by pointlessly changing Ariel from a pale redhead into a mermaid of color, sacrificing verisimilitude and narrative logic for agenda and diversity, which tells us right away that this is not a project born of artistic inspiration, but cynical and calculated virtue signaling to appease the SJW drones on Twitter and the purple hairs in the Disney commissary. Much has been made of the stunt casting of Ariel, and I'm not going to harp on that here. Everyone knows it. And it is a disgraceful concession to the woke wankers of the world, few in number though they may be. But I have a larger concern here. I worry that the woke aspect of this movie will garner most of the criticism and deflect attention away from something I consider even worse than that. While the Little Mermaid trailer looks like shit, the casting is garbage, and the brief snippet of song Ariel sings is ruined in just a few notes with the usual BS extra trills. The worst part of this project is many kids will be cheated out of seeing a timeless masterpiece by stumbling over this shoddy live-action remake first. Same thing with that abysmal live-action perversion of Pinocchio, and worst of all, with Snow White, when that trash is finally released. My friends, Disney is robbing kids of childhood wonder and timeless classics, one cheap knockoff at a time. This is child abuse, starving kids of spiritually nutritious greatness for shitty fast food trash, all in the name of diversity and cynical profit. I posted this objection on Twitter, and the depth of the problem became apparent when one poster replied, well, kids will prefer the animated versions anyway, so don't worry about it. Well, you see, that's not the point. The real problem with substandard remakes is a lot of kids will see the live-action garbage version before they ever find the animated version, and thus these kids will never be able to see the originals with fresh eyes, the eyes of surprise and childlike delight. Let me make my meaning clear. Do you like spoilers? When some jackass tells you about how a movie ends, who the real killer was, how Vader was really Luke's father, do you like that? Or do you feel cheated out of a once-in-a-lifetime experience? No, you don't like that, you say? Well, think of how these poor kids feel. No matter how you look at it, remakes are nothing but full-length spoilers. Every plot point, every detail, every surprise is revealed to a kid who sees this bastardized Pinocchio or this adulterated Little Mermaid before seeing the original classic. Saying it's no big deal, don't worry, kids will likely prefer the animated version anyway, is entirely missing the point. You are depriving a child of the delight of discovery, the magic of seeing this splendid tale unfold without spoilers the first time in the best way. And once a kid already knows the story beat for beat, they can never go back and experience it for the first time. That magic is squandered. It is ruined. It is sacrificed on the altar of woke and profit. So would you concede that deliberately feeding a kid nothing but junk food in their developmental years when you're stashing the healthiest food in the world in your pantry is abuse? I certainly would. Not all forms of child abuse are of a sexual nature. A deliberate stunting of that child's development, physical, emotional, or intellectual, is abuse. Less visible, less immediately apparent, but nonetheless insidious and pernicious. You are cheating that child of something precious and taking something away that will aid in their development, in their spiritual nurturing. You may think this an exaggeration, and I respect that. But to my eyes, if I had a child and I was looking forward to showing her the Little Mermaid, and some jackass parent showed my kid this shitty knockoff with a phony Ariel swimming around in murk and ruining every song by going all Mariah Carey on its ass, going killing the melody with needless trills and flourishes that signal the singer thinks she's more important than the fucking song. I'd be beyond furious. I would think you stole something from my child that my child can never get back. By giving my kid access to shitty remakes on Disney Plus that they watch without my knowledge or consent, you have stolen a priceless experience, not just from my child, but from my family. And that I would never forgive. I thank God I have no kids, because in these sick times of social media, childhood is already harmed in more ways than I can possibly fathom. Kids need wonderful stories now more than ever. These small miracles of magic that erupt on the silver screen. Movies like live-action Pinocchio, live-action Little Mermaid, turn treasures into trash. And it breaks my heart for any kid cheated out of even one of these rare moments by the cynical Disney Corporation. They hold vast and timeless treasures in their vaults that beggar Ariel's treasure cave. I never thought I'd see the day that Disney was determined to make childhoods less magical. But here we are, and it makes me sick. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, oh hell yes, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha.